Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayam Shripāda Paramahamsa Parivrajakaacharya Astattar Shata Shishimad His Divine Grace Shalabha Charana Arvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki ISKCON Deputy Founder Acharya Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमद इस डिवाइन कृष्ण भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नमाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रज वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगा माई की जय। जमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। तुलसी महारानी की जय। समावित भक्त वृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Glories to Sri Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading from Srimad-Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 27, and text number 16. Mam aiśvarya-śrī-madāndho daṇḍa pāṇiṁ na paśyati tvam bhraṁśayāmi sampadbhyo yasya cecchāmy anugraham mam aiśvarya-śrī-madāndho daṇḍa pāṇiṁ na paśyati tam bhraṁśayāmi sampadbhyo yasya cecchāmy anugraham mam aiśvarya-śrī-madāndho daṇḍa pāṇiṁ na paśyati tam bhraṁśayāmi sampadbhyo yasya cecchāmy anugraham mam aiśvarya-śrī-madāndho daṇḍa pāṇiṁ na paśyati tam bhraṁśayāmi sampadbhyo yasya cecchāmy anugraham. Mothers, Mam, me, Aishwarya, of his power, Sri and opulence, mada by intoxication, andhaḥ rendered blind, daṇḍa with the rod of punishment, pāṇiṁ in my hand, not paśyati, one does not see, him, bhraṁśayāmi, I make fall, sampadbhyo with his material assets, yasya for whom, cha and icchāmi I desire, anugraham benefit. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. A man blinded by intoxication with his power and opulence cannot see me nearby with the rod of punishment in my hand. If I desire his real welfare, I drag him down from his materially fortunate position. One may argue, God should desire everyone's real welfare. Therefore, why should Lord Kṛṣṇa state in this verse that he removes all intoxicating opulence of one who is about to receive his mercy? Rather than simply stating that he will remove everyone's opulence and bless everyone, on the other hand, we may point out that irrevocable death occurs for everyone, and thus Lord Kṛṣṇa does take away everyone's opulence and everyone's false pride. However, if we apply the Lord's statement to the events within one's immediate life before death, we may refer to Krishna's statement in Bhagavad-gītā, 4th chapter, 11th verse. Ye yathā mām prapadyante tāṁs tathaiva bhajāmyaham. As people surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Lord Kṛṣṇa desires everyone's welfare, but when he says that yasya cecchāmy anugraham, for one whose welfare I desire, it is understood that Lord Kṛṣṇa refers to those who by their own activities and thoughts have manifested a desire to achieve spiritual benefit. Lord Kṛṣṇa wants everyone to be happy in Krishna consciousness, but when he sees that a specific person also desires spiritual happiness, the Lord especially desires it for that person. This is the natural act of reciprocation consistent with the Lord's statement, samoham sarva-bhūteṣu, I am equal in my attitude to all living entities. Srimad Bhagavad-gītā, 9th chapter, 29th verse. Om ajnanatimmirandasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshulmilitam jena tasmai Sri Guruve namaha. Sri Chaitanya manobhishtam sthapitam jena bhutale swayam rupa kadamahyam dadati swapadantikam vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jatapadakkamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namah Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paśyati Desatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. aiśvarya-śrī-madāndho daṇḍa pāṇiṁ na paśyati tam bhraṁśayāmi sampadbhyo yasya cecchāmy anugraham. A man blinded by intoxication with his power and opulence cannot see me nearby with the rod of punishment in my hand. If I desire his real welfare, I drag him down from his materially fortunate position. Here, the chastisement for Indra becomes a very unique case that we generally do not see in this material world. Even though material opulences and blindness in spirituality, when both go together, it is identical with the material world also. But because these are the causes of one's fall down eventually. In this chapter, Srila Prabhupada glorifies Sridhar Swami, the great commentator of Srimad Bhagavatam, with so much insight. Nobody can replace him. People can become madandha also. Just in the case of the conversation between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Vallabhacharya, the pride of writing a commentary on Pushti Marg, and the treatise called Subodhini. The word Su is not much of spiritual significance. Because in the mind of Vallabhacharya, he stated that my commentary has nullified, virtually completely negated the arguments of Sridhar Swami. And there goes a big so-called, it's not controversy for those who are followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but in the eyes of those who are followers of Vallabhites, they took ill when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tried to explain that in our sampradaya, we respect our elders, and when you call him once Swami, and then you say that you nullified this commentary, it's like a prostitute. And that shocked Vallabhacharya. Prabhupada was not interested in learning more from him about the commentary of the Pushti Marg. One can take out a particular phrase of expression about the transcendental nature by his eruditeship that bhakti pareshano bhava virakti strai ekakala prapadyamanasya tushti pushti cha anugraham. When a hungry man is desperate for food, he has three defects. He is very hungry, uncontrollable hunger is there. He does not know the reality because he loses his composure of discrimination. There is a dark need of hunger, all right? As well as he doesn't see the reality, why it is happening. Three things. So similarly, the process should be so perfect that by executing anybody, any prapadyamanasya who is trying to endeavor, he will gain the bhakti, satisfaction, and pareshanubhava, means realization of God. All the three things. As soon as the hungry man gets a morsel of food, his nourishment will start. He will be satisfied. And he will be totally all right, in right healthy conditions. So three things are simultaneously happening. That is a kind of comparison that is given in Srimad Bhagavatam in 10th canto itself. But tushti, everybody wants tushti and nobody is satisfied. Pushti, we may be over nourished or undernourished. But sense of nourishment will be there. And happiness. And those who are plump, they always think they are happy. Because the prapadyamanasya, both are prapadyamanasya. The one who is trying to pursue the path of devotional service, but performance of devotional service, manifestation of the Bhakti Devi, Pareshanubhava, Krishna's experience, Anubhava. And the problem is solved. Three things. The bhakti can also do. Eating is also compared to that process. So process should be perfect. Krishna made the process perfect. But now you derive from this pushti and tushti and make all the corrections simply and at the end recipient of the devotee. Then what about Krishna? Krishna's experience is going to be limited. So those who are Vaishnavas, they always get benefit of tushti, pushti, cha anugraham. Just increase. It's not that kind of bad idea, but still such a new comparative description has been added by him, and it made him proud to Sridhar Swami's commentary, which is simply glorifying Lord Kṛṣṇa himself, not the person. Everything is under control, but one forgets to see. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejected that I am not interested to listen this Subodhini. So he was desperate. And why? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was his contemporary and was authorized to give him endorsement on this. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu denied, I am not interested. I am not interested to listen your commentary. Because this mentality is like a prostitute mentality. One you say on one behalf, he is my Swami, and yet you say you deny him. Then what kind of fidelity is there? So, in this particular chapter, Srila Prabhupada glorifies Sridhar Swami's commentary, the super excellent commentary. And prior to this chapter, I think chapter number 10 and 10th canto, where Krishna says, yasya anugraham harishyeta dhanam sanai. I think Krishna is talking to Yudhishthir Maharaj. Then, if I show my favor to anyone, first of all, I'll steal all his opulence. Similarly, the same idea is conveyed in this particular purport. What is anugraha? Anugraha is one-sided. It is not a reciprocation. It is a little different than what we say, yathā prapadyante tāṁs tathaiva bhajamyam. Mama vartamanu vartante manushya partha sarvas. Krishna reserves the right to be the sole independent decider, decision maker. Others are not doing anugraha. He is the one who is doing anugraha to Indra. And Indra could not see that. Indra could not see Lord Kṛṣṇa, who is dandapani. He has the chastising rod, and he was standing nearby because he sits in the heart of everyone as Paramatma. He is not ignorant. But because Indra was also his devotee, maybe puffed up devotee, and Indra admitted in his prayers. If you consider Indra's realization, they are so instant realization. He was a devotee chosen for protecting all the demigods, so he was made as king of heaven. So passionate nature also is there, and nobody can beat that passionate nature. He commits out of his pride so many offenses. And he has been chastised and punished time after time. Yet, he knows about Lord Kṛṣṇa, but he gets remembrance of Lord Kṛṣṇa as the supreme absolute truth, personality of Godhead, param dham and shelter of everyone, when he gets chastisement, an instant punishment. What is, in terms of our Krishna conscious and international society, devotees call it, he got a sauce. The sauce is a transcendental chastisement. Devotees were relishing if somebody gets chastisement from Srila Prabhupada. Prabhu, you are so fortunate. You are so fortunate. You are increasing our faith on Srila Prabhupada tremendously. That he made you a medium. So please, you are a source of encouragement to us. But the entire meaning is, we'll be aware all the time that we will never try to displease Srila Prabhupada. We will never try to displease Srila Prabhupada. Because if you want to please Krishna, you have to please the spiritual master. It was so simple and direct perception that the devotees have received. So, what a fortunate team work that spread within 11 years, 108 temples. Such faithfulness, such fidelity of devotees to a spiritual master has not been seen. Therefore, we always want to come in association of senior devotees and get inspired. Learn something from them. This is how anugraham means favor is being passed on. No enviousness, no malice. It is of the same nature. Samoham sarva-bhūteṣu na dveshti na priyosi. But ye tu bhajanti mam bhaktya tiyapite chasmaham. It applies only to the devotees. Because Krishna is Bhaktavatsal, he is always having anugrah for him. But in this anugrah, Indra was completely, was able to rekindle the absolute truth of our Lord Shri Krishna. Therefore, all of a sudden, he wants to come down and in private want to express his pure understanding. Otherwise, how could these kind of words are coming out from Indra's mouth, apologizing for the blunder that he did? How could all of a sudden Indra start speaking the words of realizations? And Krishna clarifies. This is real anugrah. Even a devotee needs chastisement, and that is considered to be a very positive sign for his progress, because chastisement is a form of mercy. Here Srila Prabhupada is telling, the independent nature of Lord Shri Krishna, ke yasya cecchāmy anugraham. Anugraham is not for ordinary karmis. Anugraham is reserved only for the devotees. And if the devotees fail to make progress, because that was the nature in the material world. It's a fallen nature. And if one tries to uplift himself by the process is pure. Process is perfect. I may not be perfect. Prabhupada says the process of devotional service is perfect. It has been coming down from Brahma to Narad, Narad to Vyasadeva. Narad Muni wrote Bhakti Sustras. And it has been expanded by Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami. What was there before? And what was there today, even after this Bhakti Sutras described by our Goswamis? You don't see even today such literature describing the nature and science of pure devotional service. Krishna has written. Many a times when we were reading that particular verse, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na shochati na kankshati samad sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labhate param. Oh my God, this guy is already liberated and then he is going to receive pure devotional service? Yeah. So what are we doing right now? Our devotional service is very tarangini. How many tarangas are there? Tarangini bhakti. Is it a smooth flow? Pure devotional service is a smooth flow. No tarangas, ups and downs. That is parabhakti. Once you are confirmed, then you will not go like a wave and diminish somewhere. No. Tarangas means flat flow. This is the position of a pure devotee. Mad bhaktim labhate param. And it also translates directly into Shuddhanam. Chanting pure name of Lord Sri Krishna purely. Name is always pure, but how pure are we? So, all these things are to be experienced through the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. And if we stick to the authorized literature, we will gain more and more deep realization that is the real asset for the devotees. This realization will be our own private. Therefore, Indra went privately to Lord Kṛṣṇa. Otherwise, what was the necessity? Everybody was there. All the Brijvasis were there. Krishna was still lifting the Govardhan hill. On the side, there was enough space for Indra and Survi both to come. Only 3 were there. So, anugraham is the sweet independence of the Lord Himself. And one who is a pure representative will also show anugraham. Srila Prabhupada ki. Anybody has any question? We'll have a lot of questions. Yes, please.
Krishna is equal to everyone, but somehow or other it seems that, that He'll give His special mercy of yathā prapadyante tathaiva. But still, when somebody is feeling proud and of their accomplishments and Krishna smashes them down, so how do we deal with all this? Krishna's.
That's the same way. It applies. We have faithfully executed all the principles of devotional service, but we may be lacking the intimacy with Lord Sri Krishna, because His anugraham is the only one that will reveal the intimacy.
But Krishna is self-satisfied, then why does He feel pain for the living entities who are suffering?
He is not satisfied. He is satisfied equally for the material nature, let it work. I'm not going to indulge. But He is always hankering for the love of His devotees. What else Krishna has? Love is a reciprocation between the two. And He is so magnanimous that He is able to reciprocate with every soul independently and privately. It is said, prema gali ati sakari tame dosamai. Only two can enter into this little gullies. That's why Vrindavan has very short gullies. You got it?
I'm trying to get it.
In English it is called, two is a company, three is a crowd. So understand, is not wanted there. Haribo.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Sometime when we are going to preach, the general people cannot accept, no, we don't worship Krishna, He will blow away all our material things. It is because of this statement?
No. Misunderstanding can take further repercussions, but it does not affect Krishna's independence. It does not make Krishna lesser. People fail to understand the primary understanding that there is only one God and that He is a person and He is Krishna. Because they are already corrupted in the mind for multi-God worship system, Bahudevavad. Their pride is hung on their so-called fortune obtained through the mercy of demigods. So they are not direct worshipper of Krishna, even though Krishna claims that after all that worship was meant for me, but they perform indirectly. Yecchāpyanya devata yajante śraddhayanvinta te api mameva yajante avidhi purvakam. So, why to blame Krishna? To blame Krishna is ignorance. He is the only truth. And you are a relative truth. Do you think relative truth has a right to challenge absolute truth? Then shut him up. Simple logic is also very difficult to understand. Because people are selfish. They do not know logic. So, I think in USA there is a tape where somebody is asking the question and what is logic? And Prabhupada said, what do you know about logic? Prabhupada questions him, do you know logic? Logic is baseless. If people want to be logical, to justify by reception of the results, they count, that is logical. But tarko apratishto, logic is baseless. It doesn't have a ground to uphold itself. It changes. I'm a diabetic. I cannot take sugar. But sugar may be very good for you. So should it become very good for me? Come on, give me a break. Tarko pratishto surtayo bhinna naso muni yasya matim na bhinna dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhayam mahajano yena gathasya pantha. This is the cardinal truth. Pure devotional service will be always obtained, not individually, but by the mercy, anugraham of the spiritual master who is bona fide. Did you ask him, who is your guru? Huh? Did you ask the opinion of your guru that you don't have to believe? Krishna is wrong. There is nobody Krishna. We can't keep our mouth shut. Blast him and don't go alone. Take somebody along with you. Otherwise it will come hand to hand. What does Rupa Goswami say? Huh? Huh? Cut off his tongue. But we shut him up by putting a rasgulla in his mouth. He'll shut up. Any other question? Is there somebody sponsored Rasgulla today? Yeah. Think of something. This is a very deep subject. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, thank you for your class. You mentioned about the process being perfect and complete.
Yes.
Yes. Now, what if I see another one, my friend, and he performs the limbs of devotion service, he performs bhakti, he does his rounds, he does everything, hearing and chanting, but yet he still doesn't trust the process, and he's been doing it for many years. Is that due to his anarthas? What do I suggest to him then?
See, the process is perfect, but the processor is not perfect, then what? He is a faulty processor. Pratyaksha-avagamam dharmyam susukham kartum avyayam. Krishna says in Bhagavad-gītā, Rajavidya rajaguhyam pavitram idamuttamam pratyaksha-avagamam dharmyam susukham kartum avyayam. Pratyaksha-avagamam means what? Is he doing without any demonstrator? Is he doing on his own? every activity to prove something is called an experiment. It has a theme to prove. Then it requires some instruments. Third, it requires some conditioning. Fourth, there's a stepwise follow to perform an experiment. That's how even in today, in laboratory, the schools, and they are teaching that way. If we follow step by step, you will get the same result with others. Otherwise, the result will be different. You can't jump up. You can't miss a point. We have our 9 processes. Ādau śraddha, tato sadhu sangha, atha bhajana kriya, atha anartha nivrittisha, tato nishtha, tatha ruci, asakti, bhav and prem. Even people misunderstand if they say, yeah, I have conquered all the stage. I'm on a bhava stage. There was a one sannyas candidate, and we have to say, oh my God, if somebody is on a bhava state, then why does he need sannyas? Radharani is on Mahabhava stage. We have not yet been freed from anarthas, and then if we claim, there is some gross misunderstanding. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Say it. Rasagulla.